All right, we're here week one with Baker University head football coach Mike Grossner. Coach, just like last year, you'll start off with a nationally ranked team in Grandview. This time here in Baldwin City. Let's do a little preview of number 5 Baker, number 6 Grandview. What do you expect on Saturday?
No surprises. Last year I think both teams. I talked to Coach Woodley, their head coach, just today, and last year there were a lot of unknowns between both programs. We were both nationally ranked and got recognized in that matter, but neither team knew much about each other. And I think last year we jumped on them pretty good early, had a nice first half, it kind of shocked them. And then in the second half it settled into a pretty good tussle and came down to a couple plays in the second half that we made at the end to win the game. I don't see that this year. I think there's much respect from both sides. I think our kids understand and their kids understand how big a game this is, but it's really the first game too. So, yeah, we'd love to win it, and that's what we're lining up for on Saturday. But understand the perspective, and even Mike and I talked. It gives you a good barometer of where you're at. You win this game, you got a chance to do some great things. If it's a close game, both teams are going to probably do some great things in the end. They were a couple touchdowns away from a national title, and I think our team was too. But it's a brand new team. We've got 57 new guys on this football team. That's half our team. And with that, we've got to get them to gel quickly. This is a tough first game to have when you got half your team coming in new. But it's exciting, and I think we're ready for it.
Let's break down your team a little bit. Let's start on the offense. You got Logan Bertel back. He played in some key games last year in the playoffs and really excelled. He's got a lot of his weapons back as well with your receivers, Clarence Clark and Kwanzi, along with Cornell Brown and Leday. Break down your offense for us.
Yeah, Logan's the start of it. The kid, even though he wasn't our true starter last year, he's played in, like you said, huge games, and he's performed really well. The playoff game everybody knows about, 6 touchdowns, 400 plus yards. But he came in the Central Methodist game and played about perfect in a half. The kid's heady. He's a great leader. He distributes the ball well, which you need from your quarterback, especially with the weapons we have. Clarence Clark is the headliner. He scored 16 touchdowns and set the school record for yards, and then he turns around and kicks the ball through the uprights for us. He's a guy that's putting points on the board, but those other guys play huge roles. And when I say that, last year Leday Boost was the guy in this game that stepped up and had 5 catches for 100 plus yards and a touchdown that won part of the MVP award for this game. Damon Nolan last year, first game for us, he returns a punt, 70 plus yards, and makes some crucial plays on offense for us. But the return game in him was huge in that win. Kwanzi Johnson's a year older. He transferred. He got his feet wet with us last year. I think he feels solid in our offense and where he fits. Cornell Brown's a guy, if we don't have him, we're in trouble. Cornell's that unsung hero because he's a Baldwin kid, and so you take him for granted, but if he's at any other school in the nation, he's their superstar. He's a guy that we're plugging in this week to play tailback and get a lot of carries for us, and then weeks to come, he might line up in the slot and get 8 catches for us. Plus, he's involved in the return game if we need him. So we've got those guys. Jalen Rose is a workman-like guy. He's a guy that go over the middle for you. Taiwan Moss, a taller kid that's had a nice camp, that's going to give us that, element that we can maybe throw the ball up to him and let him go get it a little bit. So I feel like we got about 8 kids that we can rotate, and we're going to need to. We play fast, and so we're going to need to give them, breathers, and hopefully there's not that drop off when we pull one of our top 5 or 6 off. Those other 2 to 3 guys got to come in and play well and block well. We ask our receivers to block, and I think that is going to be crucial in how our offense goes this year. But we got the trigger guy, we got good skill outside. I think we got a few tailbacks that can run. And offensive line-wise, we might start 2 freshmen, good freshmen. We like them. 6'7", 312, and 6'1", 362. Those guys are men. But we feel like the offensive line has gelled pretty good. And more than ever, I think we're more athletic up front. I think we've got guys that can move a little bit. And in our style of offense, it's going to help. We're just young and inexperienced.
Defensively, you've got some other key returners back. You've got the co-defensive player of the year in Josh Koch in the line, and then you've got some great linebackers back. Your top two tacklers from a year ago, Hakeem Francis and Karan Brown, and then some all-conference guys in the secondary with Avery Parker, Darian Winston, and Hayden Jenkins. Talk about this defense and what your expectations are.
Yeah, I like our defense. I think we run well, real well. I think our front four is solid. You go across the board, we've got a lot of experience with Becker, Shondell, Koch, and Jacob Thomas is a good player, and he's had a great spring and then followed it up with a nice fall camp. We're hurting a little depth-wise up front. That's going to be crucial for us. We've added a Dario Ammons, who's a really good nose guard from Butler Community College. He's a guy we haven't had. He's 340 pounds and can move and strong, so I like that addition on the inside. And then we've got a couple guys on the outside, Colton Parton, Austin Jackson's a one-year-only transfer guy from Arkansas, and they're going to have to help us in the depth, as far as the depth and rotating guys in there. Linebacker-wise, I love them. I think we've got quite a crew. Even though we lost Tucker Pauly, Mike Adams is going to step in and play great. Hakeem's ready to go. He's had a year to get in shape and, develop and be here in our system for a year, so he's been playing really well. And then Karan Brown, the guy that sits there in the middle, he's a 3-year starter in the middle, and he kind of quarterbacks that front seven, and we feel good. And then we've got Indy Allen, a guy that's real versatile, going to play DN, play linebacker. Keegan Schumann, here's a guy that any other school he'd be starting. He's a guy that just does it right, does his job, makes plays, so he's going to rotate in there at both inside linebacker positions and give us some good depth there. And then on the outside, Braden Myers, a junior, that's kind of bided his time, moved down from safety, and is going to give us good depth at linebacker. Where I love, last year we had a question mark in the secondary. We went in that first game thinking, what do we got back there? To me, I think this is one of the best secondaries we've put together here, in our 13 seasons. We've got starters returning that were all conference, and then we brought in 4 freshman type kids that I wouldn't bat an eye if they're in the ball game. We've got 2 safeties in Grant Elston from Eudora, Reshik from Holton. They were both quarterbacks in high school, and they're quality safeties, tough guys that'll go make plays. And then on the outside, Dominic Zachary's a corner that can really run out of California, that's going to provide depth. Clay Drouillard's a guy that's been here for a year. He'll provide good depth. And then on the other side, we got Darius Winston, who's the brother of Darian, and he's a long, athletic, 6'1" corner that can really run and confident, which you need to have confidence out there on an island. And then I think the guy that's going to make a big impact in this league and for our team is Nate McLaren. Nate's a JUCO transfer from my old JUCO in Arizona, Glendale Community College. Very physical kid that's probably one of our fastest kid, if not our fastest. And really smart player, really good student of the game, and makes a difference there at the corner position. And then Darian Winston, he led us in interceptions, first team all-conference guy, and then old Bug, Avery Parker going into his senior year, just gets the job done. He's a great player for us, been there for 3 to 4 seasons. And you saw Avery got hurt in a playoff game and it hurt us. And so he's back healthy and ready to go.
Coach, Saturday will be the Orange Out game. You guys will be all decked out in your orange, and we hope the fans do too. Another year out at Liston Stadium for our Baker Nation. What message do you have for the fans as we get ready for another year?
We're going to need them. This is a big game. Come out and see a great football game at this level. We went there last year and it was a pretty hostile environment, and we got the job done. We need the support this week. I hope the students are out. I've been hearing some talk that tailgaters are getting ready to go. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. Hopefully the sunshine comes out. But this Yeah, it's game one, but it's a big game. When you have number 5 and 6 in the country, defending national champion in Grandview, playing out here in Baldwin City, and it's going to mean a lot down the road, but it's big for both teams this first game.
Well, thank you, Coach. We'll see you Saturday for the Orange Out at 1 o'clock.
Thank you. Appreciate it.